All right, cool. Looks like we're live, everyone. So, hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is our what I'm calling our bonus coaching hangout. And the reason why I wanted to do one more is because on the last one, it was a bit short notice, and I know that some of you were still traveling home from the live event, and I wanted to try to get as many people on the hangout as possible, just so that we could all come together as a group and kind of have a wrap up, or what I'll call the capstone to the challenge and to the event itself, and really give you like one last opportunity to ask any questions or interact with the rest of the group or share your experience, at the live event, or something that you learned, or just whatever the heck you want to talk about. So just like we do on every hangout, we'll go ahead and start with a victory. My big victory this week is that I put in a bid yesterday for a new house. So I've been living in the place I'm at now for since 2003, so 11 years now, and my wife has been anxious to move to like a bigger house with a nice yard and that sort of thing. So we put in a bid yesterday, so hopefully it gets accepted, and that's my big victory. Now I'll call on you guys from left to right across my screen as I see you, and you can share a victory either personally or professionally. So for me, I'm looking at Agnesia.
Well, my victories are two. I had my mastermind for business analysts on Saturday, and I did my 20-kilometer walk yesterday. It was also our freedom walk in South Africa. So it was a great atmosphere, and it was a great day.
Awesome, cool, thank you. And let's see, Andre, are you there? Let's see, I think I'm getting, okay, it says, hi everyone, sorry, no mic or camera today. All right, good. Well, at least I can read your chat. So if you'd like to, you can just go ahead and type your victory into the chat box, and then I could read it out loud for you. We do whatever it takes here to participate. All right, in the meantime, while I'm waiting for that to appear in the chat box, I'll move to Colin.
Hey, so my victory for this week was actually to do another video. So I did another one. It obviously wasn't submitted for repurposing, but I did another video, and I plan to do another one this week.
All right, awesome. And let me rewind me, Colin, if you can, to let's circle back to the repurposing, because I wanted to share something that I received, so that you guys could also check to see if you received it too. And thanks for thanks in advance for reminding me. Okay, Andre's victory is at 18 years on her property, and she's waiting for a buyer offer. Yeah, all right, great. So it looks like we're both in the real estate victories this week. So congratulations, and I hope that it sells for whatever your asking price is, or at least very close. All right, next I'm looking at JD. And JD, you have to unmute your microphone. Looks like you're still muted.
Yep, still muted.
There we go.
Mine is a personal victory. I did my seventh half marathon this year. It was in San Francisco, and there's a quote, famous quote from Mark Twain, said the coldest winter we ever spent was a summer day in San Francisco. Well, yesterday was a San Francisco marathon. It was hot as hell. It must have been 85 degrees. God, San Francisco never gets that hot, and I had to run a half marathon on that day.
Wow.
But it was fun.
So how was it? You made it through okay, I see?
I made it through. It was not a record time. In fact, it was one of my worst times, but I finished it. That's the important thing.
That's right. That's the most important thing. Congratulations. All right. Next, it's June. I think you just muted yourself. You were unmuted before. Try right now. Yep, we can hear you now.
Okay. If it counts as a victory, what I was interviewed by one of the major newspapers, financial newspapers, yesterday, and it will be in the newspaper tomorrow. I don't know yet if it's a victory, but
Well, as long as it's for something positive and not like, June Breivik arrested for something.
oh no, it was about the online learning.
All right, awesome. Congratulations. All right, and next we have Sonia. Can you hear us?
I'll just unmute myself.
Yep, we can hear you. Oh, looks like you just muted yourself again.
Oh, okay. Okay, is that better?
That's better, yes.
All right. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Yeah, I've got a few commercial properties, and one of them's been empty for a while, and so I'm happy, pleased now that I've got a new tenant for that final commercial property. And a second one, which is more of a triumph for a friend of mine who's just had a book published, and it's on Amazon. And I suppose is it a triumph? But it's a feel-good factor that she acknowledged me for being the editor. I was the first one to read the book and edit it for her.
That's cool. I would definitely call that a victory. So she actually has your name inside the book, and she thanked you?
Yes. So that helped.
Cool. Yeah, very nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Well, let's see. I know that we had a call. I think it was last week. I've been traveling so much lately that the last 4 weeks have like all run together. And I totally lost track of all my dates. So I believe that we had a short call a week ago with a few of us, and we shared like whatever our biggest takeaway was from the live event. So if you attended the live event and you didn't already share what your takeaway is, you can go ahead and raise your hand and share, or if you don't have anything to share you've shared previously, and there's something new that you've discovered over the past couple of weeks after processing everything that you've learned, and you've had time to think about it and decide how you're going to apply the information to your business, or if you've already started applying it, if you want to share that with the group as well. So you could just, like I said, raise your hand and start talking, or just let us know in the chat box that you have something to share, and then I can call on you. Either way. All right, so it looks like Sonia has to share. Awesome.
One takeaway that I got the other day, just reflecting on it, was that I like the idea of takeaways, and that you can really utilize takeaways in your own material with people, because it protects your confidence, and it really engages people, your customers, and so on and so forth. So yeah, I think the actual act of or the exercise of asking for takeaways is a good one to employ, whatever business really that you're in.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. In fact, they don't call it takeaways in coaching, but when you're coaching someone and you ask them to have them tell you, what they feel is their strength, or what they feel is their weakness, or how they feel they performed on something, then you're right, it really ups that engagement factor. In fact, even my mom did it to me the other day when we were talking about this house that I was going to buy, and she asked both me and my wife, what was the one thing in the house that you liked the least, and then conversely, what was the one thing that you liked the most, and that just helped to really kind of establish like a high point and a low point, and if we could live with both of those, then the rest is kind of shouldn't really matter. So great point, and we can certainly use that strategy in both our professional and personal lives for sure.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Thank you. Okay, looks like June. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you now.
Yeah. Yeah. My takeaway. I haven't shared any takeaway from the. I don't know what I shall say. It was very. I normally talk. I normally, when I present the things that are very professional, things that are very subject-oriented, things that are very intellectual, being an academic. The speech I gave at the event was very personal. It has taken the time to digest sharing personal things from the stage.
Mm-hmm.
And it's and I think that is my takeaway actually, is what I'm learning from that. That is my takeaway. I haven't landed yet. That is my takeaway.
All right, awesome. Yeah, it's amazing sometimes how the energy in a room can bring out, these kind of deep-seated, emotions, thoughts, events, and these events, they're so sometimes physically, mentally, and emotionally draining, that our biggest takeaways might not have anything to do with the reason why we went to the event in the first place, but it comes out as something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. All right. Anyone else have anything they'd like to share? All right. Cool. Okay. Well, I do have then a couple of questions. So let me jump over to those in the email, and then I'll just read them out loud and answer them. So I guess now that I remembered, so Colin, you don't have to remind me, so I remembered. I'll just start with that. Colin had mentioned that he went back and shot a video that he did not submit for the outsourcing. I did receive a video, or an email, excuse me, from a person named Claudine, and her email said that she works with the outsourcing company associated with Alex Mondosian and Mitch Carson. Now, I didn't meet Mitch personally, but I did hear that he attended the live event, and Claudine says that I'm writing you because we'd like to submit the missing videos in our system, or she called it the lacking videos. So I'm not sure where she's from in the world, but she called them lacking. And she sent me the links of the YouTube videos that I did submit, and then the couple that I missed, it just says blank. Please submit your YouTube video link, and please be reminded that the program is about to end, so submit the missing videos as soon as possible. So I don't know if any of you also received an email from Claudine. Her last name is spelled B-A-U-I, and I'll put that into the chat box. So Claudine, B-A-U-I. Dree also says that she heard that we can still submit videos as well. So I think at least for the next couple of days, I don't know how long it's going to last or when that cutoff date is, but if you have time and you are missing videos, I would go back and go ahead and just resubmit them to whatever those missing weeks are, and see if they'll outsource them for you. So I'm going to do that this week. Today's the 29th. I was going to try to do it everything before the 1st, just in case that was like an arbitrary cutoff mine that for some reason nobody said that to me, but it just feels like it should be a cutoff date. So that's what I'm going to use, and I'm going to do the two missing videos and then submit them. So all you have to do is, if you have any of the old videos that were sent that had a link to where you submit it, the only thing that changes week after week is the final digit at the end of that link. So it's numbered sequentially 1 through 9. So if you know that you did the first 2 or 3 videos and then you missed all the rest, then just take that same link, copy and paste it into a browser, change the last digit to the missing week, and then hit enter, and you should go to that page where you can then submit your YouTube video link. So is there anyone that that either also received that email or that has any questions about that process? So Colin, you said you did receive it also?
Yeah, so I did receive that email, and I did submit the missing one, which was actually video 9, but I did the extra one, which was not going to be submitted at all. But it was just, I just want to keep, like, having got into this process, I wanted to keep going on with doing more videos just to put up.
All right, awesome, very cool. Yeah, video marketing is definitely an excellent strategy, probably the best one right now. In fact, if you spend any time on, Facebook or some of these other social media sites that people use, like Vine and stuff like that, you'll see that almost all the content is video content, and even sites like Pinterest, where you just used to be able to pin an image, you'll see that they're allowing videos now as well. So video is definitely the wave of the future, and Google Hangouts is a great way to capture video and create content without a lot of time and effort, because you're just basically starting the broadcast, recording yourself talking about whatever your topic is, or doing a screen share, sharing a slideshow, presentation, or whatever it is, and then very quickly and easily recording that and automatically uploading it to YouTube. So great strategy. All right, so that's the outsourcing. Let me jump over to the email again. Okay, I've received this question from 3 people so far, and it says, just wondering how long our website subscription will be open for after the course finishes. And I have absolutely no idea. So this question came up last week on the last call, and I think somebody said that when they purchased the program at GBI, you're going to get the hosting for the website for 1 year, I believe. Can any of you validate that statement? Is that what you purchased? Do you remember hearing that?
That's what I said last time, Pete, and that's what I know I bought, and I think Colin then confirmed that he was also through GBI. But I mean, that is through GBI. I don't know if everybody has come through GBI.
Right. Yep. Okay. So to answer that question, if you're watching this this recording after we're done with the Hangout, if you recall where you purchased it, and you can find the receipt or the materials, the confirmation, whatever it is, if you purchased at GBI and they gave you like a handwritten printout of what you purchased, or if you took notes, then hopefully it's on there. But if not, then just submit a ticket to the help desk, and or contact Sean if you have his email address. But the help desk might be the easiest thing, and then just ask how long you get that subscription for, because with this program, I honestly do not know. So that is that question. This one has also been asked by several people. Will we always have access to the links from the course, or will these expire at some point? The answer is yes. You always should be able to access the links from the course. That includes the pre-training, So the website that they sent you to log in and watch all of the pre-training videos and what I'll call some of the bonus content that you received on Google Hangouts and Hangout marketing and that sort of thing. That should all be paid for, and it's yours to keep forever, so those logins should never expire. The same thing does apply to the challenge material itself. So like, you know, the 9 weeks of Sean's videos and the tasks that you check off and all that sort of thing, you should still be able to access those as well, because that is bought and paid for. The only thing I don't know is how you're going to access those if you choose to not continue with the hosting for the membership site. So, because I know that what we do to access that stuff is log into our membership site, and then, you know, there's the link in there in the left-hand navigation bar where we go to Membership Site Central and then access the challenge. But there should be a way, if you don't do the hosting, that you can get your login ID and password to just log in directly to Membership Site Central and access those challenge materials. But technology-wise, or technically, I don't know how that's going to work either. So I would say just cross that bridge when you come to it. As long as you can access the membership site, then you're fine. You know that you're always going to be able to access the challenge materials. But when it comes to the point where if you decide you're no longer going to have the membership site and pay the monthly hosting fees, then, you know, submit a ticket and find out how you can then get ongoing access to the challenge materials. So I hope that makes sense. Any questions about that from anybody that's, you know, on the live hangout? All right, cool. Next question: if we would like to make a second website using what we learned, how can we go about this? Do we need to do it manually through WordPress and add all of the plugins ourselves? Or another like variation of that is if we decide to not do the challenge hosting, you know, the actual membership site program that we gave you, but you want to create a new one, is that something that you have to do manually, or is everything you learned in the challenge going to apply, and you know, you should be able to figure it out? So the question is, yes, if you want to add a second membership site, I believe that you will have to start with a complete new one. Although in past membership site programs with Alex, they did give you an option to upgrade from 1 site to 5 for an additional fee. And I don't remember what that was. I think for one website, the hosting was like $40 a month. And then if you wanted to add up to 4 additional sites, so you'd have a total of 5, then the hosting was like $70 or $75 a month. And then you could change in between all of those different websites from within your dashboard of your membership site. But I don't know if that functionality is going to be activated with this particular group. It's possible that it will. If it's not, then yes, what you would have to do is purchase a domain name from any website that sells them, like GoDaddy.com, for example. GoDaddy and any other hosting provider now gives you like one-click installation for WordPress. So, or in many cases, you can just contact their support desk and ask them, hey, can you install WordPress for me? And they'll actually just, you know, do it for you live, and then give you the login information. So it's very easy to install WordPress. And then what that gives you is just a blank website with a base installation of WordPress on it. And usually it's just like, you know, all white and black, a very basic template. It's got one post on it that says hello world. I'm sure that you've seen that before on other WordPress sites. And then it's up to you to install the different themes and plugins that affect the look and feel and functionality of the website. So there are literally like probably millions of themes and plugins that are both free and paid that are available to you to install, and which will affect how your website looks like, how it functions, the color scheme, the things that you can change. Really, the possibilities are endless, and it may seem a bit daunting, but it's really not that hard if you are at all like interested in technology. It's probably, WordPress is probably the simplest program that I've ever used for like making and customizing a website. And all you have to do if you're ever unsure of something is like just go to Google and say that you want to find the best theme or plugin for having a membership site using WordPress. Then just go to Google and type in best membership site plugin for WordPress and do a search, and you'll find like the listing of the top 5, and you can just investigate each one and see what the cost is, what they look like. Usually they have some type of training videos or blog that demonstrates the program for you, and you can determine if it's something that you want to try to buy and use. Or the absolute best resource for like learning how to do anything at all, but especially with WordPress or customizing a WordPress website or building website, is YouTube. So you can literally learn how to do anything on YouTube, and if you just go to YouTube and go to the search bar and type in something about like, how do I install an opt-in form on my WordPress website, you'll get a whole list of videos that show you step-by-step instructions exactly how to do it using all different types of plugins and very easy to follow instructions. So that's what I recommend if you're ever at all interested in creating your own website or going out on your own and doing that. So any questions about that process? I guess one thing that does come up a lot is, hey, I've invested time and money into like either customizing my website through you guys, through the challenge, or adding content. How can I very quickly get that transferred over to my own membership site or one that I'm creating on my own? And unfortunately, because we have such a highly customized system and it's proprietary, we don't give you any access to like the back office files. So if you had just created a website on your own, you could hire a programmer to just copy and paste the files using their like mad programming skills, and it wouldn't cost you that much to do that if you had created your own website. But because we don't give you access to the files, you can't do that. You can't hire anybody to like go in, like a programmer, to go in and do anything like that. So what you do have to do is basically just go to your pages and posts, anything that you've actually created as far as content inside of the membership site, and literally highlight it, copy it, go over to your new website, or go over to like a file where you're going to save that information, whether it's some type of word processing document or text document, and then just paste it into there and save it for later use. And then the process is going to be simply copy and paste from the old website to the new website. So at this point, most of you don't have a lot of content anyway, so it's not really that daunting of a task. It's a few pages and a few posts. But if you keep this membership site going for like 6 months or a year, and you keep posting regular content every week or every month, as that builds, and obviously that in the long term it'll be more work for you to copy and paste. So if you're going to make a change or you're going to try to do a new website, I recommend doing it sooner, not later, just because it'll be less work for you. So any questions about that process or my explanation or what that actually means?
Pete, I quite like the idea that it's separate, but I do have another website where the look and feel is slightly different. And if I just want to maybe change the look and feel so that it fits a bit more with some of the artwork that I've used on the other website, how easy will that be to integrate that with what we've got now? Well, or do I need access to the back office programs to be able to do that?
Well, as you can see, as part of the challenge, there's a few different areas that you are allowed to customize, and like the little corner of the header area where you can upload a small, image that's on the right-hand side. So it's not an entire banner. We've got the writing on the left-hand side, but you've got that small area on the right for a logo. Really that's about as much customization as you're going to be able to do as far as banner type or logo type changes. So anything that you've gone in and edited during the course of the challenge, that's really the maximum editing capability that you're going to have in the long run.
Okay, I still have a ticket outstanding because they only allow us to put in square photos. And if you actually want to use the same type of photos that Alex uses, that he puts everywhere on his website, you need different shapes. And I've asked them to actually allow us to use those type of different sizes, but they haven't come back to me yet on that. And is that also because it's just going to be fixed like that on just a square photo?
Yeah, it's highly unlikely that they're going to change that functionality, and that's probably the best that you're going to be able to do is that square photo.
That's a pity.
It's already been like that for several years with different variations of the membership site program. So if they haven't changed it by now, it's highly unlikely that they're going to make those changes, because they've had this same discussion with many clients about the customization options. And the bottom line from our standpoint, and by our I mean Alex and the company that created that membership site program, you have everything that you do need at this point to have a successful membership site program where you can earn monthly recurring income. Anything over and above that is just a distraction, something that's taking you away from your core needs, or it's our inner desire to be a perfectionist and always trying to make things perfect. So and it's very it's designed for somebody that is a complete novice when it comes to website design, website building, and has no desire, interest, or capability in doing anything on their own or having these highly customized websites. So that is why it's designed the way it is, and that's why it's highly unlikely that they're going to make any type of major changes or revisions to the base format.
Okay.
So that answer is not always the best one for some people, and it's really going to be up to you for personal preference what you decide to do. Okay, so I think those are the major questions that I've been getting about the program and the continuation of it. Some of the other questions that I get have been a few specific ones about using eye contact or using the membership site itself, and most of the questions that have come through were part of the training at some point, and we either missed the point because we were so focused on going through the task and just completing what it was and then checking the box that maybe we didn't understand exactly what we were doing, or we didn't remember what we had done and how that change that we make is even going to have any type of effect on like the membership site or the program itself. We just do the task and don't even know what we're doing or why. And unfortunately, moving forward without ongoing coaching, it's going to be very difficult to try to ask those kind of questions and get a response that for me. So I'll do my best to help you beyond this point because a lot of the stuff is actually quite simple. But my advice, from a user perspective is if you're going to keep the program or you paid for it and you're going to have it for a few months, just get in there and just play around with it and see what happens. So go back and rewatch the videos again if you can, and go through it a little bit slower and in more detail, or just click. Don't be afraid to click on like just anything, and click on it and make a change to it, and then like save it, and then look and see what that change does. It's highly likely that you're going to permanently break like anything. There's almost nothing in the system that can't be undone, and it was purposely designed that way, and that's how I learned how to use it. So when it was first created, and we had to go through everything, I didn't have a coach. I didn't have any anybody explain stuff to me. I just had to like go in there and figure out, okay, if I change this, this is what it's going to do, and just by doing that, I learned it like inside and out. And of course I forget things and I don't always remember the exact wording or exactly where it's at, and you won't either, and that's okay. But the best way to learn is just to get your hands dirty and go in there and do it. But failing that, I don't want you to become frustrated, or I don't want you to take like a whole day for something that should take only 5 minutes. So even though the challenge ends, I'll always be your coach in my heart. So please don't hesitate to send me a quick email or send me a quick instant message or something and say, hey Pete, I'm stuck on this and it's driving me crazy and I don't want to waste a whole day. Can you just tell me what to do, and I'll do my best to help you out. So so you have that capability. Let's see. Go ahead. You had a question?
Yes, please. I just wanted to ask, the selling of, I'm still struggling a bit with the selling, and I think the selling at the event was around the live event, which I thought was easier than actually doing like my own website, which is now not a live event.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a bit lost because I thought we were actually going to market our own websites at the live event, and that is where I was hoping to get some skills on what's our next steps, or how do we actually start. And I still continue with the day-to-day update of the habits that we've learned, but the selling skills I'm still a bit stuck with.
Yeah, that's a good point, and I know why they did it, because I found out at the last event what one of the biggest roadblocks was during the event. So the last live event that we had, not this one, but the one prior, that is what we tried to do, was to get people to market their own website and do the marketing for that, and went through the process for that. And unfortunately, what happened is so many people had resistance to marketing their site because they felt that it wasn't good enough, it wasn't perfect enough, they didn't have any content, and there's no way that they felt comfortable selling something that had no content. Even though it was just for like a live event and for practice, and for you could refund all the money after the event if you wanted to. They still like refused to participate, and it totally took them out of the game. And unfortunately, not only did it affect them, but we had grouped people together in teams, and I don't know if they did that at this event, obviously, because I wasn't there. But if you had 2 teams of 10 people, and half of them in one team are not participating, and this other team, only one person is not participating, this team was already at a complete unfair disadvantage. And when they realized that, it caused like a lot more resistance and a lot more like stress and drama. So what they decided to do was take you through this challenge of marketing something that was completed and that everyone could participate in with as little resistance as possible, and still be able to get people like a affiliate commission if they were able to sell something. So that's why they did that at the live event. But how does that help you now moving forward with the selling of your site? So there's a couple of different processes, obviously, that you can use to fill your funnel. Actually, there's an infinite number of ways that you can fill your funnel, and you really have to figure out what's going to be best for you in your individual business, because we're all unique, and we all have a different product, service, style, strategy, or sales methodology, and what's going to work for me is not necessarily going to work for you. But knowing that moving forward, there's a few different like general ways that we as online marketers can follow, and then make adjustments as necessary for our unique situation. So the primary 2 ways of getting people into your funnel, in my experience, is free traffic and paid traffic. So getting traffic, and I'm not there's different places to send your traffic, but I'll just start with that. So how do you get free traffic? Well, there's an infinite number of ways to do that, but some examples are some of the things that we did here in the challenge, and that would be like number 1, by being a content creator. So doing things like blog posts that are visible to the public and that are visible to the search engines like Google, so that they can scan that free content, see what it's all about, look at your keyword phrases that are inside of that content, and then rank that content in the search engines, so that if someone is searching for something related to that topic, then they'll end up finding your website or your article or your video, and then somehow finding their way back then to your funnel. So it's being a content creator and then sharing that content somewhere on the internet, whether it's your own website, whether it's on a social media website like Facebook or Twitter or any of the countless other ones that exist, whether it's on YouTube or one of the other video websites. So, once again, an infinite number of online places where you can share that content. So that's one option. A second option is to use an outsourcing company like the one that we did during the challenge, and have them submit that content to all these various places for you. So you'll give them a piece of content to share. During the challenge, it was the YouTube video, and then they repurposed it and they shared it in all these different areas, with the goal being to get free traffic back to our article, our site, when people are searching for information that's related to what that content was. So free traffic from somewhere on the internet, whether it's from a search engine or from another website. Paid traffic means you actually go out and you're going to pay someone or some website online to get traffic back to your site and into your funnel. So that could be an advertisement that is a pay-per-click ad like on Google or any of the other search engines. It could be banner advertising that you purchased directly from any website that's on the internet. It could be some type of banner or text ad that you purchase from some type of network media company. So there are thousands of companies that basically buy advertising slots on websites. And that way, instead of you going to like the Wall Street Journal, for example, and trying to negotiate an ad spot with the Wall Street Journal, you could go to a media company and you could purchase from them, and then they'll place their ad for you on the Wall Street Journal or any of 1,000 or thousands of other websites that they have agreements with. So instead of you going out to an individual website owner, you're just going to like a company that does that for you. Or social media advertising, so you can advertise now on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, YouTube. So basically you're going to all these sites and you're placing ads, and the whole goal is that you're paying some person or some company to run an ad to an audience on your behalf, and you just want to get that audience to click on that ad for the lowest possible cost, to have them go to your website and then add them to your funnel somehow. So those are really the only two ways that I teach to get online traffic, so free or paid. And then I focus on paid because I think it's predictable and controllable, and as long as I know how much I'm willing to pay to get that person into my funnel, then I can very quickly just do the math and see if there's going to be a website or a company that I can work with that's going to be able to send me clicks for cheaper than I'm willing to pay. So that's online methodology, and then there's always offline methodology as well. So countless ways to go offline and get traffic back to your business, just like any business owner does. So all types of networking and live events and newspaper advertising and handing out flyers or whatever it is, depending on your business model. There's offline marketing as well. So those are basically the only ways that I know to get traffic to my business or to my website and get that traffic into my funnel. And then from that point, you're bringing the traffic somewhere. And usually there's one of two things you're going to do. You're either going to take them to a free offer where you're going to capture their email address or some type of information so that you're going to add them to your list, and you're going to be able to continue to build a relationship with them in the future in exchange for some type of free giveaway, no matter what it is: audio, video, book, free sample, physical product, coaching, consultation, whatever your business model is, you're going to give somebody something in exchange for that information. So, and then build a relationship with them, and then try to get them to buy a product or service from you in the future. And then conversely, if you're not going to give them a free offer, you're not going to try to add them to your list, you're just going to try to get them to buy right away. So you'll drive that traffic to some type of offer or sales page, and then basically they buy or they don't. And then at that point they're in your funnel, and then whatever your sales process is after that for upselling, downselling, cross-selling, whatever it is, it's going to be unique to everybody. But that same basic framework you can essentially apply to any business, online or offline, any business model, and then you just develop it and customize it for your needs from that point. So we can all use that same skeleton, but we'll build the body differently depending on who we are and what we do. So that was a really long, drawn out talk. Are there any questions or comments about that?
Thanks for that, Pete. Yeah, I've also realized that maybe it's related to my niche, but I actually had quite a few people actually having technology problems on Google Plus in the last month. So it seems like a lot of people are struggling to install Google Plus at the moment, and I'm not exactly sure why. They just don't seem to be able to get the plugins to work. They go into a loop. And so I do have quite a lot of people that are new to Google Plus, and who's never heard of it. And that seems to be something that I'll have to work out. How do I actually maybe get access to their screens to see how I can see what they're doing? But yeah, I've had a couple of people now struggling to do that. But for my business model, I think it will be a combination between online and also face-to-face training.
Yep. Everyone is different, and I would say that that Google Plus, shockingly, is still relatively new, still growing, and has not been adopted by like the large number of people that Facebook has. Facebook has over 1 billion users. I don't know what Google Plus has, but obviously it's less than that active users. So if in your business, Google Plus is not something that is easily adaptable, then you can always test or find something else that will work, whether it's Skype or GoToMeeting or conference calls, like over a telephone. There's so many different services and programs that are available for you to use to have a dialogue and interact with your prospects and customers, that the possibilities are really limitless. It's just really up to what's going to be best for you and your customers, and it's always different. All right, cool. So I know I've got some questions here in the chat box, so let me just take a look through here real quick. Let's see. So Andre says she's never received any response to the squeeze page. Where can I still go to get it? Yeah, that is absolutely crazy. I'm like shocked and surprised that you still have not been able to get a response. So I know the company that actually created those, and I'm friends with the girl that does all the tech support. So the moment we get off of this hangout, I will send her a note and ask her to look into it for me, and then I'll follow up with you directly via email. So I can't think of, like, there's no excuse. I have no reason why you would not have a squeeze page by now. So, but with squeeze pages, one thing I will say is, the squeeze pages that came with the program, there's many people where it doesn't really fit precisely to who they are or what they do, or because we're giving you like private label rights material, it may not be something that you would normally write or provide, like the quality of what you're going to write or provide, and it's like not customizable. So, it doesn't have your name on it, doesn't have your image or anything like that. It's, a basic giveaway form where they get a PDF in exchange for their email address. So does it, for some people, is it good enough, and will it work? Yes, absolutely. Is it a one-shoe-fits-all solution? No, it's definitely not. So I would urge everyone to look at theirs and think about it if it's something that really does apply and that you want to use long term. And if not, just go out and get one created on your own, or you can very easily create one on your own for very inexpensively, or very expensively, but really, really nice if you choose to. And as a resource, I would go to, I'll type it into the chat box, it's called Lead Pages. I think it's .net. And they charge some kind of monthly subscription if you want to get access to all of their various lead pages, whether it's a sales page or an opt-in page, or for a free giveaway or whatever it is. But they also have a blog So if you go to leadpages.net and look for the link to the blog, they provide like weekly trainings on all the different types of lead pages that they use. And at the end of that training, they give a link away where you can get the template that they're describing in that video for free. So you don't even have to pay for it. All you have to do is copy the code, and they ask you to, within that code, there's like a link that says created by leadpages.net or something like that. And they just ask you to keep that in there because that's like building like a backlink to their website from your page, wherever you're posting that, which is good for their organic search engine rankings. But you don't even have to keep that link if you don't want to. It's like nobody can see it. It's not visible to the naked eye. It's only inside of the code, so the search engines can see it. But if you don't want to keep it there, you can just have your programmer delete it. So if you know how to do like HTML code, copy the template and install it on a domain, your own website, and then you can just customize it on your own, and away you go. But if you're not technical in nature at all, you can find the template that you want to use. Just go through the blog post, say this is a really cool template and I want to install it. Just grab a link to that blog post and contact an outsourcer, a programmer on like Odesk or something like that. Just go to Google and type in outsourcing companies, and there's probably like a top 10 list of companies that you can outsource technical stuff to, like Odesk or something like that, and just give them a link to that blog post and say, I want to hire you to install a landing page just like this one on my website, and then they'll tell you exactly what they need to do that, and then you can customize it as much as you want and have them do it for you, and it'll be very inexpensive, like less than $100 for sure, since you're already giving them the basic template for it. So that's what I would recommend. Let's see, Colin says he set up the PayPal account but had no knowledge on how to set it up on the membership site. The training said take the details to the reunion. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Colin. Can you unmute and tell me?
So there was some pre-training, and on that pre-training it went through the process of setting up a PayPal account to be used for the membership site. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the training, it didn't actually go through how to link it to the membership site. It simply said, remember your membership, remember your PayPal account and your logon details, and bring it along to. And this was one of the things that was set up for not this training, but for the last group of training. And it never gave the answer as to how to actually set it up on the membership site. And maybe somebody else picked it up and I just totally missed it. But.
Yeah, it should have covered that somewhere inside of the challenge itself. So one of Sean's videos and one of the tasks inside the challenge should have been to connect everything together inside the membership site so that when people purchase, that it works. Is there anybody that's on the call that has done that recently that remembers like the week or the task where we had you guys do that?
Pete, there's in the tutorials in your website itself, it's just at the top of where the MSC is, there's a menu that says tutorials. Mm-hmm. And the last tutorial actually says how to set up your PayPal. And that is a very nice tutorial. I worked through it twice and then I got it to work.
Okay, cool. So you just use that tutorial itself. Awesome. Yeah, and that's a PDF, right, where they give you the screenshots and the step-by-step.
That's it, yeah.
Okay, Agnesia, did that go all the way through to putting it onto the membership site?
Yes. Yes, it shows you how to copy and paste the text, the code. It shows you how to set up your buttons, and it also shows you where you have to do all the different settings. And it's really nice step-by-step with screenshots showing you exactly where to click and what to do.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
And you're more than welcome to also contact me, and I can walk you through it as well.
Thanks, Agnesia.
And you were going to add a comment, Sonia?
I was going to say, could Agnesia repeat where that tutorial is?
Yep,
It's, you know, where you go for resources, where you normally go for your MSc to get your homework.
Yes.
That's the last entry of the menu. If you just look up, I don't know if it's the second or the third one, it says tutorials.
So it's last of the, in the resources, it's the pre-training tutorial.
Yes, yes.
yeah. Let me see if I can log into my my site and do a screen share. And this is one of the things I think that I've communicated with some of you guys independently. The best way to figure out like what's going on inside the membership site and what everything does is to go through that menu on the left-hand side of the site and literally click like on every single link and just look and see what's in there. And then you'll find little tidbits of information like this that, as Agnesia said, is very helpful and very nice. So I'm trying to log into my site and then I'll do a screen share. All right, cool. Looks like I'm in. Let me share my screen. Okay, can you guys see my screen with that crazy infinity effect?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to click over here inside of my membership site. So what I always do is, like I said, I click through all this stuff. And like, let me just start at the top with my online lists. When you click in there, you see that it has like a couple of PDFs. So how to set up a list and how to create autoresponders, and this one, how to set up eye contact. We should have all set up eye contact already, so that one should just be like a refresher, and you shouldn't have to do any of those steps. But if you want to create additional lists, like we give you one that is for the prospects, and then when you get customers, there'll be another list associated with that. But if you ever want to create more lists in eye contact, because you can have an unlimited amount, this PDF will take you through it. And then once you get people on your list, basically they're just sitting there unless you communicate with them somehow. And you can send them emails either as like a broadcast in real time. So like, today's Tuesday, I want to send out an email right now, so I'll just log into eye contact, create a new email, and deliver it immediately. Or I can schedule emails in advance, and as many as I want, by adding them to an autoresponder, and then automate that relationship building with the prospect or customer. So I don't even have to, I just write them once, and then say I set it up where every 7 days they're going to get an email from me, and this is what it's going to contain. And whether they join the list today or a year from now, they're going to receive those emails every 7 days. And they'll start with email number 1, and they'll go in sequential order. So this is the PDF that will take you through that process. So that's under my online lists. Templates is just a bunch of like, extra bonus material. So there's nothing in here that shows you how to do any of the tasks or activities inside the site, but it's just stuff from like a marketing perspective or a business perspective that you can just kind of look through. And then the resources. So this is what Agnesia was referring to. So if you click through some of the different options here, let me just start with like online tools, for example. So these are some free and some paid resources that that we use as a company, or that Alex has used as in the past. So if you want to learn how to do something, for example, I'm looking for a service to send large files to people that are too big for email, because it won't, some email services won't send big files. This place will host them for free and allow you to send them. So that's the one that Alex uses, and that's the one that he recommends. So you can kind of just look through here and see everything that Alex has recommended in the past. And then here under tutorials is when you'll find a lot of the really helpful, like, PDFs that are related to the membership site itself. So let's see if this loads for me. Yep, here we go. So so if you're looking to do something and you're really not sure, like how to add an image to your post, for example, if I click on this PDF, it's step by step with screen captures that show you exactly how to add an image to one of the blog posts on your website. And then there's some additional training videos down here at the bottom that cover some other things that we talk about. So a lot of good information under tutorials, and then you've got the pre-training, which is a link to the pre-training site where a lot of the stuff is covered, and then the post-training as well.
Hey, Alex again.
So
you did it.
there we go. So the most useful ones for me for learning the membership site itself and some of the different functionality is going to be the tutorials, and then the pre and post training. So thank you, Agnisha, for reminding us all of that. And then you'll see I've got like an older version of the membership site. So I don't even have access to the membership site central from mine. I actually have to log in directly. So that's how, I know that there's a way that they can generate a username and password for you. So if you ever stop the website hosting, you'll still be able to access Membership Site Central and the challenge tasks and activities. So I'm going to stop that screen share. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I don't see any more questions in the chat box. So is there anyone, final go around, any questions or anything that I can help you with as a coach, or anybody else that's on the call, can help you with as far as bouncing ideas off of, or any support at all?
I've got one question, but I'm a bit embarrassed to ask it, really, because it shows a lack of knowledge, or perhaps I missed the video again where that was covered, and that was to do with assigning types of members that have access to your content, because I'm still, everything on my membership site is still has been is available on the blog, so it's been set up, whether it's an article or video. It's all my content is set up for the blog and set up, and so the type of membership hasn't been assigned.
Okay. Yeah, so there's two places. So let me go back to the screen share, and there's just a couple of places that control the way that everything appears on the site, as far as the content, the posts themselves, and then who it's visible to, and then how you can change that visibility. So can you guys see my screen again? Yes? Okay. All right.
Yes, we can.
Okay, good. So let me go over to the membership site, and first I'm going to go to my content, and this is going to show me like the actual blog posts themselves, the comments, or the content. So let me just edit this first one. So when you are creating any content, the two things that control like where it appears, the first one is going to be over here on the right under categories. So you can create custom categories and edit or edit these, or if you have an article, you can just assign it to say articles, for example, and that's going to just show up in the default section called articles inside of the navigation. So the categories is what really controls where this stuff shows up in the navigation. And then the protection for that content is down a little bit lower under this wish list members section. So it'll ask you, do you want to protect it? Yes or no. So if I click no, then that means anybody can access it if they click on the link, so it's visible to the public. And if I change it to yes, then that means only members will be able to see it. And then if I had created different levels of membership, so say I had like a basic and a silver and a platinum, if I had created those, then the different levels of membership would show up here. Or
okay,
I can even,
that's what I need to go back on then to identify the video which deals with the creation of membership levels.
yeah, and I don't recall if we had one or not. I seem to think that there may have been one video that briefly touched on it, but didn't really go into a lot of detail. But I'll show you where it is. Not the video itself, because I don't recall, but I'll show you inside of the site here where you can do those extra levels. But then you could get really fancy too, and you could enable this pay per post. So there are some people that do like I know one guy who does a weekly podcast. So he'll do a recording with some type of expert on some type of topic, and it's a different topic every week, and then he'll post that recording to his website. He'll just give a paragraph introduction, so a title and a paragraph to what is contained inside of that audio, and then if you want to listen to the audio, you have to pay for it, just that one audio. So he doesn't charge a weekly ongoing or a monthly ongoing fee. You pay per podcast, so you only pay for the ones that you want to listen to, and he uses this system to do it. So this is what that pay-per-user access functionality is all about. So a bit fancy for me, but if that's what your business model is, like this guy, then that's what you can do. So that's how you edit it inside the actual content itself. And then as far as editing the different levels of membership, this membership program is called Wishlist Member. So if you ever forget that, you can just look, inside of there, and it's Wishlist Member. So that's what it's called. And you can go to this plugin. So Wishlist Member is a plugin. So it says WL Plugins and WL Member. So I'm going to click on that. And the plugin is what controls all of the functionality for the membership aspects itself. So you can just basically click through all of these different tabs here and see all the different type of functionality that you can have. So if I just quickly, kind of go through it, If I click on settings, then it shows me a whole list of different types of settings that I can customize. We kind of set this one up for you initially, so I don't think that I would personally change anything within the settings tab. But you know, if you want to get fancy and you want to look at it, you can. And like what I mean, for example, is like right now, non-members. So if somebody goes to click on some protected content of mine, we just created a page for you called "Oops, this content is members only." So if they view it, if they try to view it, then they're going to go to this "Oops" page. But if you don't like that "Oops" page, then you can create your own page, or pick a different one and send them to that instead. So that's what I mean, that you know, this stuff is all like highly customizable, and you can get really fancy if you want to. So if I go to members, this is going to show me like all of the people that actually subscribe to the membership itself, and it'll basically like tell me what their status is in my system. So when did they sign up? You know, when did they cancel? Or when did their membership expire? And it'll give me their username, and if I click on them, then I can change like the details for that person. So I can change their username. I can reset their password. So you know, any option that has to do with the actual member itself. Now, membership levels is where you can start to add different levels of membership. So this is where you could have a standard, and then you know, you could add a new one like platinum or silver or whatever, and then be able to customize like what they have access to. So if you have, you know, like a basic membership, then you can only give them access to like certain posts or pages. And if you can have a platinum membership and then give them access to all posts and pages, for example. So this is where you customize all that stuff, is under this membership level section. Now, I won't, you know, continue on. You can always click through this on your own and see what it does. And we don't create like training videos on how to do every single thing inside a wishlist member, because wishlist member has their own like training videos that show you how to do that. So you can just like go to Google, and let me just type wishlist member.
I think the reason why I haven't set that up is because, although I do remember going through the video, I don't recall it being part of the challenge to actually set up other.
Well, it's not. It's probably not.
As a task for me, as task, specific tasks.
No, we wouldn't. No, we wouldn't do anything that's overly complicated. We would, as part of the challenge, we would just take everyone through, you know, the basic setup for one type of member, and then if you wanted to get fancy after that, then that's something that you would do on your own after the challenge. And we don't provide any type of training on that. But if you go to wishlist member, so just Google it, and here's the link to their, you know, like homepage. So I'll push that in here. You know, up at the top they've got training videos, so you can just click on that link, and then just countless videos on how you can customize and change the wishlist member program to change the functionality on your site.
That looks good. Thank you.
You are very welcome. And then if there's anything you don't see here, once again, you can always try to go to YouTube and type in what you're trying to do in YouTube, and chances are somebody has created and uploaded an excellent step-by-step training video that will show you how to do what you're trying to do. And if that fails, you also have the support tab, so you can click on that, and you have access to all of this stuff as well.
Okay. There's plenty to be getting on with then.
Yeah, as far as customizing the membership plugin itself, yeah, they've got tons of support on Wishlist Member.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Well, any other last questions before we call it a day? All right, great.
Not for me, no.
All right, fantastic. Well, thanks for joining me today on our final hangout. I appreciate everyone's time. I know some of you had to cut out early because we went almost an hour and a half, but I'm glad you were here. And if you go back and look at the video, at least the last 30 minutes of it, the replay at some point in the future, it was a great pleasure, going through the challenge together with you. And if I can ever support your success in any way in the future, please don't hesitate to email me anytime, and I'm happy to help in any way that I can. So I guess take care. Bye for now. And
bye-bye. Thank you.
I hope our paths cross in the future.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Cheers.